Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that sparks a lot of debate. The question today is, what's the difference between being frugal and being cheap? Well, at first they look the same. You're saving money both ways, right? But the truth is, there's a big difference between the two. Being frugal can set you up for long-term success and happiness, while being cheap can actually cost you more, both in money and relationships. So today we're going to break it all down, what frugal really means, what cheap looks like, and what side of the line are you going to fall on. So let's start off with defining frugal and cheap. Frugal to me is mindful, intentional with money, focused on value. Cheap, you're focused only on the lowest cost possible, even ignoring quality, time, and sometimes relationships. Take this example. A frugal person buys a reliable used car and saves thousands. Cheap person buys the absolute cheapest car possible, even if it keeps breaking down constantly. They're still just putting more and more money into that used car that's not getting them anywhere. So what's the mindset behind each? Well, the frugal mindset, long-term thinking, focused on value, durability, opportunity, cost. They believe money is a tool. Cheap mindset, they've got short-term thinking. They're focused only on not spending money, often driven by fear. So, I knew a person who would drive 20 miles across town to save 10 cents a gallon on gas. They ended up spending more in time and money than they saved. That's not frugal. That's being cheap. Let me give you some everyday examples. Let's take groceries. Groceries are on the front of everybody's mind. You go to the grocery store, every day the prices go up. A frugal person is going to buy store brands. They're going to plan their meals out for an entire week and buy what they need. They're going to avoid waste. Cheap person, they're going to buy food that's almost expired, anything that's marked down. They're not going to really have any kind of a plan. They're just going to load up their cart, spend the least amount that they have to spend, and go on. Let's talk about clothing. Frugal person is going to buy fewer high-quality clothes that are actually going to last a few years. Cheap person, they're only going to buy off the clearance rack. They don't care what it is or what it looks like. It's not going to last anyways. It's going to wear out quickly. How about your home and utilities? Frugal person, they're going to invest in LED lights, insulation, energy efficient appliances, which are going to be a little more expensive in the beginning, but they're going to save a lot of money in the long run. Cheap person is going to refuse to turn the air conditioning on even when it's boiling hot outside. They're not saving money, they're getting sick. How about your social life? A frugal person suggests free or low-cost activities like hiking, going to the park and throwing a frisbee, or picnicking. How about a game night? All those things, they don't cost any money. Cheap person, they never want to contribute to a group outing. They avoid tipping whenever possible, and they expect somebody else to always cover their part of the bill. If you're still working and have a career, a frugal person is going to pay for courses, books, certifications that's going to pay off in the long run. They're going to make more money. They're going to have more money in retirement. A cheap person, they're not going to spend a dime on self-improvement. They're just going to be missing opportunities. So what are the hidden costs of being cheap? Relationships. People avoid those who never want to pay their share. Why do I want to carry somebody every time we go somewhere? They're going to waste time. They're going to waste hours to save pennies. Quality, they're going to buy the cheapest thing they can buy, and they're going to replace it over and over again, which is just going to cost them more money in the end. They're going to have mental stress, obsessing over money in ways that's going to steal all their happiness. They're never going to be happy. They're going to be miserable. Another reason you don't want to hang around with them. What about the benefits of being frugal? Well, you're building financial security for one. You're not getting burnt out. You're leaving room to be generous. You can save in there some areas so you can spend in other areas that are more important to you. You're going to have better health. Quality of life is going to be better. You're going to have better shoes. You're going to have good food. You're going to look good as you're dressed up. You're going to have proper health care. You're going to have, most importantly, peace of mind. You're in control, not controlled by the fear of spending. So how do you tell the frugal from the cheap? Ask yourself a couple of these questions. Am I saving money at the cost of my health, my time, and my relationships? Do my spending habits align with my values? If you're cheap, I doubt they are. Would I be embarrassed if others knew how I made this decision? Quick quiz. If you drive 30 minutes to save $1 on toilet paper, are you being cheap or thrifty? If you skip buying brand new furniture and instead shop at a secondhand store to save a few $100s, again, cheap or frugal? It's up to you. So folks, in closing, here's the bottom line. Being frugal is smart. Being cheap is limiting. Being frugal empowers you to save money in ways that support your values, your relationships, and your long-term goals. Cheapness, on the other hand, it's going to cost you more than just money. It's going to cost you your trust. It's going to cost you opportunities, and mostly your own peace of mind. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the cheapest thing you've ever done? I'm not going to share it with anybody, but I do want to know what it is. So send it to me in a comment. And I want to know, what's the most frugal thing that you're most proud of? What have you done? Cheapest and most frugal. Drop it in my comments below. I'd really like to read some of these stories. Folks, if you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more tips. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when the next video comes out. Most importantly, I want to thank you for watching. And remember this, be frugal, not cheap. Folks, until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you later.